It should not be construed as any investment advice or recommendations to buy or sell any security. This is strictly for informational purposes. Since we do not know everyone's investment objectives and risk tolerance and strategies, in no way are we endorsing any specific strategy. We want everyone to clearly be aware of the risks involved in day trading, and please feel free to go through all the disclosures on the Lightspeed website to familiarize yourself with the many different details that trading does entail. This webinar will be recorded and stored onto the website along with many of our other webinars. You could go to the archive on the Lightspeed website to view all of the other recorded webinars. We have a whole library of those for you to go through. And also, anything here that you may have missed, you'll be able to recall later, but you certainly can give us a call or email us at any time, service or sales at lightspeed.com with any questions, and certainly give us a call. Here are 1-800 numbers right on the right-hand side here. Okay, that's the basic disclosure. So we want to head right into today's topic, which is really the Lightspeed Trader advantages. We want to give you a demonstration of the Lightspeed Trader software and show you some of the different customization settings that are possible, how to do specific some page layouts and settings, and just give you some overall benefits that Lightspeed Trader can provide you, along with some of the services we provide as well. So anyone, please feel free to write questions as we go. I'll try to get to them as we go along, but certainly I'll try to answer them at the end. I can go through slightly. I don't really have that prepared at this time, David, but David asked about margin for option positions. But I can show what we have listed on the website, and I certainly can get back to you on any specifics that you have there, since they do get a little complicated. But first, I just wanted to go over some of the main. Sure, I definitely will get in touch with you there. Okay, so the main focus of Lightspeed Trader, as you can see through the screen here, is speed. Lightning fast order execution and cancellations. So I want to bring up the software here now and just go over some of the quick ways to set it up, and we'll go through. Here we go. I hope everyone can see that. So we'll go through some of the ways to set up various orders. I'm also going to discuss some costs involved, some commissions, the routing fees, liquidity rebates, all designed to help lower your cost and make you more efficient. Well, Walter, I'm actually not too familiar with Tachyon software, so I really can't comment too much on them. I really just know what Lightspeed offers and the speed that we go through. So I don't think I have a need to compare versus other software. I just really want to discuss what we offer and how we stack up versus standard software. So when I say lightning fast execution, you can really set up your orders to be entered in many different ways. You have a basic order entry form through your standard order entry here. David, I would say, like the standard web-based platforms or the other downloadable, E-Trade or TD Ameritrade or Thinkorswim, we stack up extremely well versus them in execution speed and cancellations and fills and price as well. So I just mean in general versus what's out there. We certainly feel that we stack up very well, if not better than most what's out there, especially for the cost. So here we go. Amazon, we could see I have a level 2 window here. I have my order entry. I have a chart here. You could see, so I could track the price movements. And then we have my orders window and my positions window. So everything can really be used. This is a basic layout that if you've modified your layout in the past, we certainly can import this back to you so you can start over from scratch at the basic layout that we provide. But you can see buying an order is as simple as setting a price, setting your share size, and hitting the buy or sell button. You can see immediately that order that one got canceled. I am on a demo, so you can see here, as soon as I place the order, you can see that order goes live immediately. And I click on the X, and that cancels. Now, this is a simulation. It's a demo, so it's not exactly live trading here, but you really get the idea of how simple it is to place an order and to cancel an order. You can see in my messages window, every time you place an order, you're going to get a message. So my first order I placed, it told me that the order was rejected. The destination was not available after hours. So for after hours trading, you have two destinations, ARCA or NSDQ. If you place an order outside of those two destinations, it's going to reject it. So once again, I can do many different ways to the price. You can see I could adjust my price simply by clicking on any price level. I could click on the inside bid back to reset it. And I could place the order, and then immediately here this executes 200 shares that purchase. So you can see it went from 0 from 200 and this red order to 200 out of 200. So that shows that order did fill. You can see on my messages window opening 200 Amazon, and you can see the price bought 200. And then along on the positions here, you can see in my positions window, I now have 200 shares, and you can see my P&L. And there's a lot of different data columns you can apply here for cost basis and information. If I simply want to sell it, I would make sure I had my shares in there. I would adjust my price, and I simply would click the sell button. And right away, that executed. So these actually went right around the same price, $317.61. So there was no actual profit or loss on here. So there's a lot of different ways you can just populate your order form here. I could simply just double click on any symbol. It's going to populate that order form. So it's really built for speed. So as I indicated, this is direct access trading. So this is why we give you a selection in your market order routes to direct where you want to go. I could get to that as well, David. I'll show some option combinations, some complex option orders as well. So we'll get there for sure. I want to go over some of the direct access and what that means at this point. So direct market access means you actually have the ability to choose your routing destination. You see, I have ARCA, I have Edge, I have NYSE, I have NSDQ. So I am actually directing where my order goes. A lot of other firms, they don't give you this choice. They will just give you one order route for your executions. And you don't know exactly where that order's going or how they are interacting with that order. They may have a trade desk that's taking the other side. They may have ways to route the order that's beneficial for them. Now, I don't know specifics on each company and how they operate, but the general consensus out there is a lot of firms do that. They are not advertising that they're direct access, so there's nothing wrong with what they're doing, but this is why we are more competitive. We are actually letting you send your order directly to the NSDQ exchange. You are also going to participate in the liquidity rebates that direct market access offers. They may not give you that choice. So for each route that you have a different fee structure where you can receive a fee or actually a credit based on if you're adding or removing liquidity? Well, that's a good question, David. Some people like certain routes solely just because they have experience with them. Some people like to send all New York Stock Exchange orders to the NYSE. Some people, if you know there's a large bid here on Edge, that's where they're going to sell, knowing that's where they're going to get the most immediate fill at the best price. So it determines by either your type of order, what's out there on the market, or the fee structure involved. So you really have to balance out what's more important to you, execution speed, execution cost, or getting that fill in its entirety. So I know here I could sell up to 2,000 shares, 715 on Edge. Now, if I went to another exchange, I may not get that fill before that order is canceled. So you do have the ability to get a better percentage of your execution if you're sending an order to where that bid or offer is actually stored. So we say if you're doing a NASDAQ stock and you're not sure where to route it, then you're better off going straight to NSDQ. If you're doing a New York stock and you don't have a preference, then you're better off doing NYSE. So let me go back to the website here for a second just so I could show you the table for routing. Let me change my screen sharing here. Just give me one moment. Okay, so here's the website here, and we definitely list all of our pricing and the routing fees. So yes, we also offer a smart order route, just like other firms do as well, and those do have lower routing fees as well. So we do have that ability for you just to send it to the Lightspeed order route, and we would route it to other destinations based on various algorithms and best source liquidity for your execution. So quickly, I'm going to go over the commission structure here, just so everyone knows. We do have an updated tier structure that has been added to the website, so everyone can see this is what we offer everyone. So it's nothing that we're hiding. We have our standard commissions posted here for stocks and ETFs. We offer per share or per trade basis. Per trade is a flat $4.50 rate regardless of the share size, whether it's 100 shares, 1,000 shares, or 2,000 shares. It's going to be $4.50 per trade plus the routing fees. The per share, it's spot 0045, which is based on the number of shares traded. There's also a $1 minimum for Lightspeed Trader. So if you're trading 100 or 200 shares, the commission is going to be $1. If you're trading 500 shares, it's 500 times spot 0045, which would give you $2.25. And then 1,000 shares would be $4.50. So that's really the break-even point of where the per trade versus the per share is beneficial for you. If you are mostly sending orders higher than 1,000 shares, you most likely want to be on the per trade rate. If you're doing orders with smaller share size, then you want to be on the per share basis, so you're only getting charged for the amount of shares that you're executing. So if anyone has questions on that, feel free to type them in now, and then I'll move over to the actual tiers here. We offer various tiers based on monthly volume. So if you feel that you are starting to increase your share size or your per trade ticket size to these levels, you certainly can call us and we can review your account for a commission reduction if it applies. Sure. So let me go over the routing fees here, which we have posted on the website. So you can see all the different routing venues that we offer. It ranges from the LSPT route, that's the smart order route. We have ARCA, we have BATS, we have Edge, Knight, NASDAQ, NYSE. So we offer quite a bit of choices for you to execute your orders. And then you could see here there's two different columns that really come into play. There's add liquidity and then there's take liquidity. Anything that's in the parentheses is a charged fee. So that is a take liquidity routing fee. So if I do a take liquidity order to ARCA, I'm going to be charged an additional spot 003 per share on top of my commission. So for every 1,000 shares, that's going to be a $3 additional routing fee. However, if your order qualifies as an add liquidity order, you can see this is not in parentheses. That's actually a credit. That's a rebate back for your trade. So that would be 002 per share. For every 1,000 shares, you would receive a credit back of $2. Yes. The most important question is what makes it a take liquidity and what makes it an add liquidity. Now, the best way for me to explain this is thinking liquidity as actually liquid. It's water. So if the level 2 window here is your bucket of liquidity, your bucket of orders, you would say you're either adding to this bucket by contributing additional orders, or you're removing from this bucket of liquidity by taking orders. So any market order that you place is immediately going to remove, that's going to take shares from the market. So any market order is a take liquidity. You're simply, whatever's offered out there, you're placing a market order and that's going to execute right away. Now, if you do a limit order that immediately executes and takes from what's out there, that's also a take. So if I buy to ARCA at 7.25, that is going to be considered a take liquidity order as well, because I'm taking shares from the existing market. Now, if I place the buy order below this $7.24, say at 7.20, 7.21, that order is going to add to the book. You're going to see that order represented on the market in the level 2. So you're actually adding liquid, adding water, adding an order to the actual markets here. Great. So you have to be aware all market orders are take liquidity. They're going to have a fee. Marketable limit orders are ones that are immediately executed. Now, non-marketable limit orders are the ones that qualify for the rebate. So that's going to be a buy below the bid and a sell above the offer. So that's very important. Buy below the bid, sell above the offer. Those are going to post to the markets and add liquidity, add shares, add your order to the market. If anyone has questions on this, you could always call me at a later date, send emails. It does take just a little time to get used to that, but you can really reduce your costs if that's the type of strategy you have. Now, not everyone wants to deal with the routing fees and have to calculate whether they're adding or removing. That's why we do offer the LSPT route. That's the Lightspeed Smart Order route. You can see it has a take liquidity of 0.015. That's the lowest take liquidity rate that we offer. That has the best chance of getting filled. So if you are consistently doing market orders, LSPT route might be the best one for you since it's going to give you the lowest charge. Now, if you're consistently doing limit orders below the bid, buying below the bid, then you most likely want to use ARCA or Edge X here or NSDQ because you're going to get the highest add liquidity credit. Okay, Larry asks, how do I change the default market on the order screen? Now, everything is done through the configuration windows. You could click on the C or the settings here, and you could go to your trading menu here. This is where you would you'd go to your windows, you go to your order entry, and then your markets. So when you click on an equity, you can change your default market. So this is where you can set your default market when you change symbols here. So it'd be in the order entry in the Windows section of the configuration. I work for Lightspeed. I am a registered representative of Lightspeed, a sales associate at Lightspeed, Walter. So if anyone's interested in a new account, I'd be the one to help you get set up and walk you through the process and get you going here. So as I was saying, you want to just balance out also what's more important. If getting the execution is more important than getting your rebate, if you're balancing a $2 rebate versus a $20 loss in trading, you want to go market and you want to get that fill. But if you know you have some cushion, you want to put some limit orders out there and wait for the markets to get to you, then you want to use some of the routes that we offer with the higher rates for credits. So that's always up to you. This is a self-directed account. You have to balance out what is more important, what your risk tolerance is, what your investment objectives are, what your strategy is, to determine how you want to send your orders and how you want to trade. So all we do is provide you with the tools, provide you with some low-cost options, but it's always up to you to determine how you want to do these orders. We give you all the decision-making. We just provide you with the tools as well. Okay, so let's see. Do we have any questions now on liquidity or the routing fees? I hope I explained that pretty well, but you certainly can let me know if you need a little bit more detail on that. Okay, thanks, David. Okay, I'll move on. Certainly, if anyone needs me to repeat that later on or at a later date, you could always call me to discuss this. So, as I said, there's many ways to enter orders through Lightspeed. Part of the great aspect of Lightspeed Trader is the customization. So I could use my mouse. That's more than adequate to place orders just simply using the mouse. I want to do 500 shares. I want to buy it right away. I can do that. I simply could right-click on an order to cancel or modify. Or just click on the X here to cancel an order. So you can see all my orders are in this window and they're color-coded. Red is a canceled order, green is an executed order, white is a pending open order. And you could always filter out this window if you want to have one window for only filled orders, one for open orders, one for canceled orders. You could have multiple order windows open. But as you can see here, I have this window, it's labeled Hot Buttons. Now, these are actual order entry buttons designed on specific configurations. It's a very fast way to bypass the order form and bypass some of the settings you have to adjust when you're making your order. So you can see right here it says market buy 100 shares. Now, even though my order form says AKS 500 shares at a limit, this market buy 100 is going to override that and have its own configuration. So I hit buy. Looks like market, it's because it's set to market right now, it's not going to go here. Let me add a new one. So if I right click on my hot buttons, I'm going to go to orders. And you could always add additional orders. We have a whole bunch that we have created already that you can add. So if I have tier size order, I can buy at the bid, sell at the offer, sell market, buy. All of these different orders and go to different routes. They're all available as hot buttons. And then there's also decrements and increments on existing orders as well. Cancel keys here, close out positions, trading keys here. And then you could also create your own custom orders. So quickly, let's show a custom order. The tier is your designated tier size, whether you want it to be 100 shares, 500 shares, 1,000 shares. So you can set your defaults based on specific tier sizes. So if I go to custom orders, I click on new, I get an order form. So I'm going to buy. I'm going to set my route here to ARCA. I'm going to buy at the bid. I could even change if I want to buy below the bid or above it, and I could do a quantity of 100. And I could have a pop-up or not. So I hit done here. Okay. So now I have a custom order here. I'm going to call it buy 100 limit bid. So I renamed it. I hit OK. Now I'm going to add it here. I go back to my custom commands, my buy 100. I add. I hit OK. Okay, now once again, 500 AKS price. So even if I move this 726, if I hit this, you can see buy 100 at the bid went off. So buy at 724. So it didn't matter what was in my order form. The hot button overrides that and has its own order built in. Very fast way to enter orders and to exit orders. Now I have a cancel all orders. So right away that canceled that as well. So you could set up multiple hot buttons to have different order types, different order sizes, different order routes, all to increase your speed and efficiency when executing these orders. Very fast way to trade. But not everyone likes that as well. Some people like to trade strictly from the keyboard. So you're also able to set hotkeys. Those are known as hot buttons because they're actually buttons. But if I go to my keyboard linking here, I can go right and do the same exact thing. I have my order. I can go to my Shift 0. I'm going to map it. I hit OK. Now, I know I'm going fast. I just want to get through some of the different things. If people want specific help with their own setups, I certainly can go over that with you specifically. So, once again, I have 500 AKS 724, but I'm going to hit on my keyboard. You can even see my mouse. It's not even near the hot button or the order form. It's up here. I'm going to hit Shift 0. And that order went in again, 724 buy 100 shares. So you can set up your keyboard to enter your orders as well. Very fast way as well. Some people, they label their keyboard, they put some stickers, they know some buy and sell buttons, and they strictly use their keyboard to enter these orders. That's really up to you. That's your choice. That's the customization aspect of Lightspeed Trader. It's a great way to set up orders. You want to have a way to cancel orders, you could set that up on the keyboard as well. So you're not sure what's going on, you just want to cancel these orders, you can always set up one hotkey to be your cancel all button, just so you always know you're going to cancel all your orders. So you can see all these are available here. Cancel all. I'm going to shift here, Shift 1, map, OK, and then I hit it on the keyboard. I just cancel the order. Shift 0, Shift 1, Shift 0, Shift 1. Now imagine people doing all these types of orders straight from the keyboard. It's faster than the mouse. It's faster than you can move and click your mouse. So once you get up to speed with your trading style and strategy, the hotkeys can really increase your speed. So it's a really nice way to be able to trade. Okay, another great aspect of Lightspeed Trader is the ability to customize your pages. So you could have one page completely set for your stocks, and then you could also create a new page for your options trading. So you can just build a new one. Any window can be open here through the new menu. So I would do an option level 2. I would go option chain. I would do my complex options order entry. and you could build a page just like that. So it's very easy to open new windows, create new pages you want to set up for different strategies. You can do that very easily. So if I went back, I go right back to my equities page, but then I want to go back to my options, it saved it right there. So, it's a nice way to have different pages for different stocks, different strategies, for options here. Let's see, so we have option there. All right, and then they all kind of link together. So if I change this here to Apple, you can see all the windows will update. If I click on any particular contract, you can see that populates my level 2, and I can also right-click and add it to the complex order. I want a covered call. It's going to give me a call in there. I'm sure there's a limit, Walter. I don't know the exact limit, but I know you can have quite a few different charts in there. So I would have to check on that. I'm not sure on the exact limitations on it, but I know you could have multiple charts. And then you could also create charts with different time frames in them to save some space. You can see I have an intraday chart, a 90-day chart, a 52-week chart, all within the same tab here as well. So I know David was asking about the complex orders. You can see all these different strategies are set up and built in. So you can easily do spreads and other type of strategies. You'd fill out all the forms here. You can see what you pay or what you're debiting, and you simply hit the go button, and that's going to place the order. If it doesn't fit the actual strategy, it's not going to accept the order. If it doesn't make sense, if your call or puts are in the wrong strike price or the wrong month, that it does not qualify, or if you're not approved for that strategy, those orders will not be accepted by Lightspeed. So it does try to help you by allowing you to place the correct strategies involved. If it's not available, then you wouldn't be able to. So you see here, long straddle, and then you can see I either pay or receive a credit if it's a debit or credit straddle, and then you could place that order here. So then you click reverse, it'll flip it quickly here. You see the buys and sells change on the reverse button if you want to either close it or do a different strategy. So there's a lot of nice features here. If I want to go to short, you can see it sells both of them there. Yeah, I mean, basically, if you're picking two different positions, most likely it's some type of a spread position. You can do that. You can either go long 2 different ones or short 2 different ones if you're approved for those different strategies. If you're not approved for those different levels of option strategies, then it would not accept it. But if your orders do qualify for those specific permissions, you are able to place those. If not, you would just place them individually one at a time. Yeah, most likely if you're not approved for that or it's not a specific strategy, you'd probably have to enter them in one at a time through the regular option order form or the level 2. Typically, no. If you just pick 3 random contracts, they would have to fall in line in a strategy to be able to be entered all at the same time. Otherwise, you'd have to enter them in one at a time. The complex order form is for specific strategies, not just multiple option positions. Those would be just considered, uncovered positions that you'd have to enter one at a time through either the standard order form or the level 2 order form here. Okay, just some of the other ways you could customize these windows here. If I go back to my other equities page here, like I said, you go to the configuration settings. You can do a lot of different setups. David asked if he could link them to the same trade and make them use the combined limit price. Not that I'm aware of. If they don't qualify as a specific strategy, then they would have to be entered individually. They would have to qualify as either debit or credit spread, straddle, strangle. Okay, Walter asks, can I create an order for stop $20 buy limit 2001 stock? Yeah, David, that's based on the different margin requirements on the strategies. So that's what the system designed to prevent from you exceeding any margin requirements that you may not be able to house in the account. Okay, so for hot buttons here, we're going to go to setting, we're going to custom order. Then we go to new, and he wants a stop order. So we go to new, you see all the different stops here. So okay, stop limit without the routing fee. Well, since this is direct routing, there's always going to be a routing fee. Now, it can be the LSPT route, which has the lowest routing fee, but we do always have routing fees since this is direct access. So I'll just do one here. Okay, so we'll say stop bid closeout. We'll enter it in there. You hit done. So then we have our stop order here, okay? So this one actually changes the command here to a stop order, but there's other ways to do it as well. So you can set up your custom orders as pop-up stop orders as well. I have to look into that. I know I'm missing a step here to populate here. But yeah, you basically go through that stop command and either you could set it up for your order entry or you can have a pop-up on here. Also, there's all the different trading commands here. You have your cancels, you have your closeouts, you have your confirms. So this is where you would set up a lot of different settings as well. Oh, here it is. I missed it here. Order pop-ups. Okay. So I hit that, stop, and you can see that pops up here. And then you simply can use the keyboard to do your mouse, and then the order doesn't go in until you actually hit enter. So that's what I was missing there. So I have my stop button, populates either the order form, or you can have your own pop-up order here as your stop. Stop at the bid. And then escape simply cancels the order before it gets placed. Okay, some other customizations with the charting. You're able to set various time frames. If you want to add more tabs, I could do a 10-minute. I could add it. First, you would name it 10-minute, add, and then you can see I just added a new tab. So you have 52-week, and then I have a 10-minute. If I right-click, I go to studies. You can see I could add various studies here, including moving averages, Bollinger Bands, pivot lines, trend lines. And you have all that stuff. Add, okay, and then you could really customize your charts, studies, your displays here. You can change some of the settings, some of the styles, the fonts, the background, the colors. So that's where you would do that, all in that configuration menu. You can also designate your level 2. You could change the different tier sizes. Change the different tier colors here if you wanted to. Okay, okay. Level 1 settings, you can change the data that's available in your level 1. You could add more. Could move it around a little bit. So that's really all there for you to customize. Level 2 settings, you right click, you go to level 2 settings. You can change the various tiers or the fonts or what information to display, the prints, the fonts, the different colors. So right-clicking gives you the menu for most of these settings. Then you can choose what you want to display. You want to display closed or not. You could also show the margin requirement. You could see in the upper right-hand corner, this says 25%. So that's the intraday requirement for this stock. You can show the borrowable indicator. That's this L here. It tells you if the stock is either borrow or a locate is required. Up or down tick here as well. So all that's configurable. That's also in your positions window. You can go here and any of these different data columns you can add. So change up or down, your cost basis here. Last price. When it means located is required for short selling, that means there's a limited number of shares available and you have to contact the firm to determine if there are shares available for you. We would be able to either locate additional shares or assign them directly to your account, so then you are able to place the order. If that's an E displaying here, that means it's easy to borrow. Any short order you place should get accepted. If it's a L, that means a locate is necessary. If it's a red T, that means it's a threshold security, and there could be a fee to borrow the security. So this will give you a quick indication if you're able to sell short or not. You could always call or email the trade desk to try to determine if additional shares can be made available for you. If they are allocated to you, you would see a message in your messages window that certain amount of shares were assigned to the account. Well, if IWM was not available for shorting today, then that's why it rejected this short order. That one's pretty typically hard to borrow. So most of the time it would be a red T indicated in there. Now this is a demo, so it's not going to show it. But if it's not available, it will show up as a T there, indicating that it's not available unless you attempt an additional locate and a possible fee is required. So that's a quick way to determine easy to borrow shares. We also have a tool on the website to see what's easy to borrow and if any other short locates have fees. So you can always check on the website for that information. Yep, you can do that, David. There are many different strategies for instead of shorting stock, you can use options in different ways. So that is possible as well. So if you are approved for options and you're aware of the different strategies, of course you're able to do that. So when you log into the website, you can go to the trading tools, shorts and margin, so you can see easy to borrow search. I type in IWM, you can see no symbols match. So it's not available. So Netflix is available. I type in G-Pro, not available. But if I go to my threshold search, you can see what stocks are on here that require additional fees for locating. Along with the locate required, some fees have overnight borrow rates, and this is where you would check that as well. For naked positions, you need to meet various requirements based on your investment objectives, your financial numbers, along with your experience and your minimum funding requirements. So there's a combination of factors to allow for naked positions. Typically it's $25,000 for naked puts and $75,000 for naked calls, along with the other factors. So you would have to qualify to be approved for that. We also have the FAQ section here. Go to margin. And there's a lot of different questions here. answered about margin, so you can always check. If you have some questions here about different margins. I don't think it really goes into the margin calculations. There are here house margin, 25% for marginal equities. Anything under $4 is 100%. But I do plan on doing a webinar about margin and specific margin calls and for option requirements. So be on the lookout for that. It's not really covered on the website, so I do want to present that for people. So I'd like to have one of those topics coming up soon. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. And our other webinar schedule, those are all going to be posted to the website, and certain emails will be sent out as well. So we definitely will try to get some other topics, especially what people are interested in. You know, if you're looking for more information on margin, then it'd be a good idea to present a webinar on margin. So I do plan on doing that in the future. Okay, so that's really the presentation that I had in store for you today. I know I went over some things a little quickly. Maybe I didn't cover everything that I was supposed to, but definitely let me know if you have some questions. You could always email me. My direct email is rlivson@lightspeed.com. So I'll type that in for you guys right here in the chat. Or feel free to just call and ask for me. I will certainly be able to take your call, and if I don't have the answer right away, I'll do my best to get it to you. So I hope everyone was able to get some good information out of here. Feel free to check the website. It'll be available on there in a couple days. And just let me know if you have some questions. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I hope you were able to learn some things here. Walter, actually, we no longer offer futures trading on Lightspeed Trader software, so you would have to use one of our other softwares for futures, either Sterling or Realtic. But feel free to call me or email me if you want to discuss that further. Okay, guys, thank you very much. Have a great night, and thanks for attending. I hope to hear from you all with some additional questions, and I can help you out and get you even more efficient and profitable. Thank you very much. Have a great night.